Welcome to Here's Next Door. Thank you all for joining us today. If you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe. It really helps us out. Today we are in New Jersey, northern New Jersey in Hunterdon County, and we're going to be taking a look at the Borough of Lebanon Fire Company. They have a unique station here that's been here for almost 100 years. So let's go take a look and see what they have. So we're going to be meeting up with one of their firefighters who invited us out over 6 months ago. We finally got up here to do it. His name is Jason, and he's going to walk us through this station. You're Jason, right?
Yes, I am.
All right, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you so much for inviting us out.
Of course.
You know, you and I have been communicating for the last 6 months on how to get up here and, you know, the timing stuff. So it finally worked out. You're about 2 hours north from where we're coming from.
Oh, wow.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself to start with?
Sure. So I'm firefighter Jason Strauss. I've been here for around 5 years now. I joined as a junior when I was 16 years old. Now I'm 21. A little history about the fire company itself. This year's actually our 100 years, so we're celebrating our 100-year anniversary. Okay. We were founded April 11th, 1923, after the result of a hotel explosion. Then the town decided we need fire protection in the borough of Lebanon.
That would make sense.
Yep. So they acquired this building in 1925. And then in around 1928, they actually moved into here. Our original first motorized apparatus, Morristown, New Jersey's engine 2, it was a simplex, was our first motorized fire engine, was the used to be installed in the basement of the old Lebanon General Store.
Okay, okay.
So that was there, and then they moved down here, and then so what we're standing in now is the original firehouse.
Okay, so this even short and long area was the firehouse itself.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what was next door then,
so,
or attached to it? Because it's out front, it looks like you had a bay on that side.
Yeah, so
a couple different things.
So next door actually used to be a supermarket.
Okay.
So we still have the original grocery store style windows, and you could actually see up on the walls and everything the original, like where the deli section was, and all the display areas and stuff toward the front. It's a real, this firehouse holds a lot of history in it.
Okay. As we walk in here, I noticed you got almost a patch wall going on.
Yes.
It's a little different, patch arch, I'll call that.
Yep.
So where are most of these coming from? Are they from all over? Or are
so right here, when you look right here, these are our patches throughout the years.
Okay.
It started on the right, and we went to the left, and then right in the middle is our current patch. So the companies that you see right next to us, as they go out, these are mutual aid companies.
Okay.
Sort of. And then as you dwindle a little more, then you can start seeing like FDNY, neighboring counties and such.
Right.
And then they did a little section right here, all towns that say Lebanon.
Okay.
So
yeah.
they kind of had
it's a good way to do that. We've traveled a couple of times to different fire stations, and they have the patch walls, or maybe they have one of the headers that have it all on there.
Yeah.
It's really cool to trade patches with different fire companies because we're all a brotherhood. We're all, you know, we're coming from a different town, but we're all kind of doing the same job.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that, and hopefully you continue that. If anybody's out there and want to send them a patch, definitely send them a patch. They can put it up on their wall. Yep. So right here is your original engine bay.
Yes.
Okay. It seems kind of small, it's short. So how did you fit it all in here?
So a lot of trucks back then were a lot shorter than they are now, obviously, because now you get trucks with like 9, 10 feet. On them back then, it looked like kind of like this, our utility truck right here.
Right.
So at the one point, we had 3 trucks in here, bumper to bumper. It would be the first new piece, the second, and then the third. Whatever one was pretty much the newest one would be in the front, and then our second, which was a 1942 Ford with a La France body on it, and then the third, which was the old simplex engine.
Right.
So they would go out, they would spawn out of here, and the Mac, the Model B Mac, later on would be stored toward the back.
Okay.
And then, so what was funny is that what I heard from an ex-member is that sometimes to get it started, they had to push it out, roll it down to get the motor going, and then they swung around, picked everyone up, and then went to what the
old
call
jump
was.
start.
Yeah.
All right, so in here you have a couple different things. What's this vehicle here?
So this is our utility truck. It's a GMC Sierra. Mostly used second due for any wire pull brush fires around here.
Right.
Extra manpower.
Right.
It can tow the trailer for our boat and also our gator too.
Okay. What kind of area are you covering here? Do you have water? Do you have like standing water? Or do you have rivers? What do you have?
We have a little bit of both. We have the Round Valley Reservoir,
Okay.
which is mostly covered by our neighboring rescue company. But if they ever need extra boats, we can supply that. A little section down in the borough, in the east section, there's a little neighborhood that sometimes floods when there's extreme rain.
Right.
So it's good to have that boat. And then up north, there's a little town, and sometimes that'll flood when the water comes down the mountain. So that's pretty much why we resulted in getting a boat. This is a 14-foot inflatable.
Right. And then do you also have trails for the gator?
Yeah, so pretty much we cover a little bit of everything out here. So we're only a town of 1 square mile, but we are basically a mutual aid company. So 90% of our call volume is going into different towns, different areas.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's good that they have that extra support. Many times, we get overwhelmed, especially with volunteerism decreasing over the years.
Yep.
Having a mutual aid company to come in that has the supportable vehicles is very important.
yes,
So, can you show us the rest of this place?
sure.
So you mentioned you do a lot of mutual aid. What's the farthest distance you go for mutual aid?
So it really depends what the call is. Anywhere ranging from maybe a fire alarm activation can be maybe a 10-15 minute drive for us as being a mutual aid company. But if there's a fire, we are a RIT team, or what they would know as FAST or RIT.
FAST or RIT,
We
yep.
can we'll be going maybe 30 minutes away.
Okay.
Maybe far. So
Okay.
we could be going as far as 30
That's awesome.
minutes. So
What did we just walk into? I feel like I walked back in history here.
yeah.
You
So
got the old tin ceiling still.
yeah, we like to keep tradition around here. So the building still tin. This is all tin ceiling, tin wall. We try to keep a lot of that to kind of preserve the history of this building.
Right.
So right where we're in here now is our radio room.
Okay.
So we have a couple desks here, kind of the watch commander style desks.
Yeah.
This is where we have our information, our right to knows, a couple of more patches, all of our apparatus books, checklists,
Right.
stuff like that.
This is really nice. So what do we got over in this side?
So in here, this is our chief's office.
Okay.
So this room used to be the grocery store.
Okay.
This used to be a town grocery store. Still got the original grocery store style windows.
Yeah.
Kept the tin again.
Yeah.
And then this section, the high section right here, this is where like the deli and the meats used to be sold.
Okay.
And then the stairs going down to the basement they're covered up, but it would
Okay.
be right over here to get all their
So
storage.
you've done a couple different renovations for this building over the years.
Yes.
How many times have you had to renovate?
Probably well over maybe five times
Okay.
maybe. That's just adding additions.
Right.
Renovating itself a little less than that.
Okay.
So.
Okay. And is this Chief back here?
Yep. This is our
Hey,
fire
Chief, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Thanks for inviting us in. We really appreciate you inviting us out here. So,
Nice to meet you guys.
yeah. So you've been chief for a while, from what I understood. Is that correct?
Yeah, I've been chief here in Lebanon for 23 years.
Okay. Is this all volunteer fire company?
We're a volunteer, 100% volunteer fire.
How many volunteers do you have?
We got about 36 members.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, well, you know, you had the 36 sets of gear there, but you only have the same 10, 15 guys that come around.
That's pretty typical, though.
Yeah,
So
it's all over.
yeah. So thank you for inviting us out, and
thank
thank you
you.
for your service.
Yeah,
Keep up the good
thank you.
work.
Yeah, thank you very much
So-
for coming out.
Jason's doing a fantastic job taking us around.
Yeah, Jason's one of our top firemen here, so. Okay.
All right. I don't want
Thank
to
you.
disturb you
No,
anymore.
No
So
problem. Thank you very much.
all right,
guys.
take care. So from here, where else do we go? Is there an upstairs?
Yep,
You
there's
said
an
there was a
upstairs.
downstairs.
Yep.
Or is that just storage?
Downstairs is mostly just the basement.
Okay.
There's just small history to it
Okay.
because it used to be the shelter during the Cold War. That's why we have the siren, our fire siren, which is still active today.
Okay.
Used to be a siren for the civil defense of Lebanon Borough.
Okay.
So when that siren sounded during the Cold War era, everyone would come here. They'd go down to the basement. It's got the low ceilings down there. It's all concrete. and
Right.
So
Maybe we'll go take a look at that real quick
Sure,
too. So
sure.
all right, I'm going to follow you then.
okay. So this is pretty much where the civilians of the borough would come in the case of any attack on the town during the Cold War era. This is pretty much the whole Cold War
Yeah,
shelter
this
for
is
the town.
awesome. Obviously, it's the short ceilings, but
Yep.
you get that feeling, of that history that was here. Not only were you a firehouse and a convenience store, but you were also a community center
Yes.
for everybody.
Yep.
And that's very important to understand that, many of us that get into public service are doing that because we're service not just for fires, not just for EMS, but we're also want to be that hub, that safe place for everybody to come.
Yes.
What better safe than basically a bomb shelter?
Yeah, right.
So, although it feels a little haunted down here.
It is. They say the firehouse is haunted by past members. I've had doors open and close on me sometimes.
Okay.
So it's real interesting. During the night, it can get real interesting.
Right.
So.
We actually did a haunted house that we believe is haunted too. We can't prove it one way or the other.
Yeah.
In Denver, we did a station out
nice.
there, and we had some things, even with our filming, that was difficult. I mean, I talked about it.
Oh, wow.
But it gives you that same kind of feeling.
Yeah.
So, but it's that history. It's not that scary kind of haunting. It's that almost soothing kind of haunting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is awesome.
Yep.
All right. And
That's,
then,
right here, actually, you can see the outline of the stairs.
oh yeah, yeah.
that
Where they
be
used to go down there.
Yep.
Okay.
And then all the meats and stuff would be.
So that was
stored down
just part of the renovation.
here. Yes.
Okay.
So now we're gonna head upstairs. Let's take a look at our ballroom, our lounge, and a couple other cool areas. Some more
Okay.
history of the
It looks like
firehouse.
we're walking through your apparatus bay.
Yes.
So for you guys that are watching, pay attention because we're going to come back to this in a little bit. And we'll talk about this. But before we go upstairs, do us a favor, hit subscribe, hit notification, and keep hitting those like buttons. It really helps our algorithm. Let's go upstairs.
Let's take a look. So this is the upstairs area. This is where our meeting hall, our weight rooms, lounge rooms are all at. This is our 9/11 memorial. It's a piece of steel from the World Trade Center. It's kind of our little.
This is really nice. It's one of the better displays I've seen. We've been to a couple stations. Even my own station has some of the metal. Minquist has some of the metal from it because that's where it was built out of Coatesville. Yours is really nice because it's almost got the twin towers on each side
Yeah.
with the memorial in between and the number of 343 for
Yep.
the fallen firefighters. That's awesome to have. So thank you for doing that. As soon as I walked up here, I get this feeling that this is not just a firehouse, but this is a community center.
Yes, this is also a community shelter still, as previously discussed. This is, as back then it used to be the bomb shelter. This is still a community shelter in cases of an emergency.
Okay.
We have different shelters throughout the town, but this is one of the main ones. So we can have up to 50, maybe 50 people in here. We can provide food, we can provide water, shelter until they can maybe go back to their residence.
Okay.
So that's.
And what do you got here? You got some history up on the wall. I
Yes.
see.
So we got some history on the wall. Right there, the helmet that's marked 1923. That's one of the original fire helmets.
That's pretty slick. It doesn't even look like today's kind of fire helmet.
Yeah, right. So other than that, a little more history about the room itself. This used to be the town movie theater.
Okay.
So if you take a look on the wall right here, these are where the cameras used to be.
Right.
So they'd have the screen here. So they'd have all the rows of chairs set up. So this is where they'd come to watch movies,
Okay.
shows, and then also again there used to be the ballroom. Any events, anything, they would use the upstairs.
It's a multi-purpose room.
It is.
Right now it's set up almost like a boardroom or, for your company, but, the fact that it's got the high ceilings, it's nice and wide, you have plenty of space. You guys are utilizing it to the utmost efficiency.
Yep. So for our members, if they want to have maybe birthday parties for their kids,
Okay.
or any meetings, I know our Chiefs Association meetings happen here. Our regular business meetings happen in here. This room is an active room at the firehouse.
Okay. I noticed on the back wall here, you guys got a ton of trophies.
Yep.
You guys still participate in a lot of their parades?
A lot of parades still go on. Not as much as in the 90s and 2000s, and before then, everyone was competing for that trophy to bring home.
Yeah.
So this is our collection all throughout the mid-40s, all the way up to present day.
Yeah. It shows, again, that pride of your service. You only 1 square mile, you got the trucks, but
Yep.
you take that pride in the service.
Yep.
So it's one of your old bells too?
Yeah, this is off one of our old engines. It's off our old LaFrance engine. So we put it on a pedestal, cleaned it up, and now it sits up here.
So many times I've seen these outside, you know, as a display. You guys kind of have a ring out front that I noticed.
Yes.
What is that about?
So that ring back then in the early years was when there was a fire, the people would call a fireman and tell them what the call is. They'd come down here, grab a mallet, and they'd ring that ring. If you look closely, that's a piece of bent rail tie, like railroad. So
okay.
they'll ring that, and then when other members hear that, then they'd come down, get in the truck, and go to where it is.
Okay, so almost like the modern day bell.
Yep.
They just kind of ring that like a triangle.
Yep. So now it's our memorial now, so we put a nice little garden around it, but we still keep it because, again, we're big on tradition here.
Yeah, yeah.
So we like to keep
and
our
that's something
history.
I've never seen before. So you're always using the tools around you.
Yes.
So over to the side, looks like you got a little weight room.
Yes, we do. We have a little weight room in here for the guys. It was originally in the back room. We moved it up here to get a little more space.
Okay.
We had to take some tin out of here, though.
Right.
So, but this is our weight room. So guys come down here, utilize the gym.
Right.
We have a little group of 5 guys who come down here. We are scheduled and just, rotate throughout, kind of
Right.
get our workouts
You can tell
in.
you kind of took the tent out of it. It quiets it down just a little bit.
does, yeah.
Like the
Yep.
ceiling kind of muffled the noise.
It was hard
like
to
I said.
do because, it's a little less history, but, it came out nice for what it is. So.
Yeah, yeah. And physical fitness along with mental fitness is very important for
Yes, it is.
firefighters and EMS. So having a place to work out some of that stress is very important, whether you're a paid service or whether you're volunteer
Yes.
service. Having that is important. I noticed you got a room on the other side also. What's
Yes.
over there?
So we just have a little kitchen in here.
Okay.
Again, for the shelter reason or any events, we can bring our food right in here. And we could cook anything. We have the fridge in there, store anything. The renovations were just redone for this room as well.
Okay.
So a little small
Oh, yeah.
area, but we made it work.
No, and look,
Yeah.
this is a homey kitchen.
Yes.
You got a full-size fridge, full-size, cooktop, and, nice counters, nice cabinets. I'd feel comfortable cooking in here,
Me
that's
too.
for sure.
I have, so.
So we came up the back stairs, but do you have another staircase for the lay public to get up to this place? Or
Yes,
do they
we
have
do.
to make it through?
So there's an outside staircase. It's right along this wall right here. This is pretty much a straight way for any public to come right up here. People still utilize the back steps, but they can use this as well because you're not going through all other places of the firehouse. It's pretty much just a straight walkway up here.
Okay, what else is up here?
So in addition to where the cameras used to be
Right.
up there, we still actually have the camera box in the little closet over here. You got the original doorknob here.
Okay.
So it's just a little storage closet, but this is where the camera box was.
Yeah. That's pretty slick.
Yep. And then they used to hang all like the reels of film and stuff
Right.
on these pieces of wood here.
Okay.
And then this window outline right here, I know it's a little hard to see, that's where the concessions used to be.
Okay.
So all the food and stuff would be over here. And they can all control the lights and stuff. just
Was
right
that a
from
way
there.
for them to kind of raise money, or is it just more community outreach?
I think that was more of a town thing because at the time the firehouse didn't have the building up here. They didn't acquire the whole station until around the 50s, 60s.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it was kind of more of like a separate thing going on.
Gotcha. So speaking of finance and stuff, do you guys do fundraisers? Do you do anything like that?
We do a lot of fundraisers.
Okay.
We do a lot of letters that go out to people,
Like
fund
membership
drives.
libraries?
Yeah,
Okay.
so we do a lot of fund drives. We do open houses down here in October every year. We do the big 4th of July parade
Okay.
here where we have a huge parade in town, and then over at the park we do a little
So if someone was
donation
watching
table.
this and they're in the area and they wanted to participate, maybe they want to become a volunteer
Mm-hmm.
or they want to donate to you, do you have any kind of social media that they can reach out to?
We
or-
do, sure. So our website is www.18fire.org. You can go to the website, learn about information there, reach out to our fire chief, talk to him every Monday night down here at 7 o'clock. We're always here, either doing drills, cleaning the building, checking the trucks. We're always here on Monday nights. There's always someone down
So
here.
Monday's your drill night.
Mondays are pretty much our drill night, yes.
Okay. So like I said, if you guys are watching this and you want to help participate or help a fire station that's been here for 100 years, go ahead and get a hold of them. They'd be more than happy to hear from you. If you want to send a patch, this is the guy to send it to. So we're making our way towards the back here.
Yep, this is going to be our lounge area back in here.
Okay.
So we'll go take a look at that.
All right, sounds good.
So in here is our lounge area. This is
Ooh,
our lounge
this
area.
is nice. Okay, I gotta just say, the Super Bowl is tomorrow
Yes.
for us. Now, you guys may be watching this later. You probably already know the winner, but you know, the Super Bowl, the Eagles, that's why I'm wearing my hat today. This would be an awesome place to hang out and watch the Eagles.
Yep. So I think a few of our members usually come down with the families and stuff. Again, socialize, come down here, sit around, watch TV, kind of watch games and
Right,
stuff. So.
right. I love the fact that you guys still put up some of your history in this. When was this redone?
So this was redone around the early 2000s.
Okay.
Early 2000s, late 90s. They renovated the obviously the bar over here.
Right.
And then also the repaint, and then all of our older tools from our old trucks are up.
Talk me through with this. This is an old Blitzfire, right?
Yep, this is the old ground monitors.
Yep.
Now they're like this big. This, you had to take 4 different hoses right into the back of it
Right.
to flow out here, and this is a stack tip. So.
Okay. And then up on the wall, got some of the old wooden ladders.
Yep, wood ladders, wood hooks.
Yeah. And then what's this thing up here?
So this is our old, it's one of those vertical ladders. So basically, these right here would keep the ladder from being flush against the building.
Yeah.
You'd put this section right here through the windowsill.
Right.
And you just climb this right up, and then sit in the sill. If you got to go higher, put it up, hook it in. So kind of like piggybacking up the side of the wall.
So you want to know about bravery of fire departments? Try climbing one of those one day. So you got a pool table here.
Yep, we have the pool table here, and then just all older photos throughout.
These are all the photos of your department, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And over here you got the fire dogs by the fireplace.
Yep.
And awesome bar.
So over here is more historical pictures of our company, some of our trucks and stuff. If you look over here, this is our current fire chief when he was younger.
Dude, he looks like he's 12 years old.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So over here, actually again, this is when he was actually really younger. He was sitting here.
Okay.
And just think, like, just a little kid sitting watching the scene. Now he's a fire chief here.
Right, right.
It's pretty cool.
Those are what motivates the next generation.
Yep.
You know, seeing their dad, seeing their friends, seeing the community working together motivates the younger generation to
Yes.
do what we're doing today. So, and I think that tradition needs to continue. And I hopefully, you know, by us going around and looking at all the different fire stations and showing you guys, you know, what the traditions are, showing you the different style houses, whether it's a brand new house, whether it's one that's 100 years old, you know, these are the kind of things that you guys can be part of as viewers. All you have to do is go down to your local fire department, be part of it, and get started.
So a little more history. Here's where, this is where the store used to be. You could see the Coca-Cola, all the different the
Right,
grapes,
right.
jellies, all that, all hung up on the grocery windows. This is our old Mac B model fire engine.
Okay.
That was our third apparatus.
Right,
purchase
so
for
this is the
company.
sign that's out front that's
Yes.
still on the building. You know, they didn't cover that up. And this is that original bay where the utility is.
Yep. So if you look at this picture,
Okay.
here it is. This is the original firehouse right here where we were earlier. See all the gear hung up here. Your Stokes basket was hung up on
Yeah.
this side, the hose tray. So this is where all the 3 trucks would be.
Okay.
These 3 right here
Yeah.
would be, you know, bumper to bumper.
Bumper to bumper.
So, and then this picture over here is our 1942 Ford.
Okay.
And then this was our first motorized fire apparatus from Morristown, New Jersey. That's the Simplex. That was ex-Morristown engine 2.
Right, right. And I'm noticing about you guys have bunks too.
Yep, we do have bunks.
Okay.
We have 4 bunks here for our staff nights, which we do every Saturday.
Okay.
So a little about that, it's called a program. It's a Squad 51 program. We've been doing it for what started as a trial month, just doing a month trial of it, turned in now we just hit 6 years doing it.
Okay.
So
And what is that? What is the Squad 51 program?
So basically, the North Hunterdon Fire Alliance is made up of 5 municipalities throughout Hunterdon County. Our fire company, Lebanon Borough, Annandale Host Company in Clinton Township, Town of Clinton, Quakertown, which is Franklin Township, District 1, and Highbridge Fire Department. Those 5 companies make up the North Hunterdon Fire Alliance. So on Saturday nights, from 6 p.m. into Sunday 6 a.m., one of those departments on a rotational basis each weekend will have a crew staffing their squad truck. So if any of those jurisdictions get a call, they'll at least know there's a full truck going from another town.
Right.
Basically just to, help with response time, manpower during the weekends.
Right.
So again, what turned out to be only a trial for a month is now going into 6 years.
Okay.
So
yeah. That's pretty cool. We did a company down in PA. I think it was Perkiomen that did something very similar to that. They called it different, but it's that shared responsibility between communities to make sure that the trucks are getting out.
Yes.
They almost call it a duty crew night.
Yep.
Certain stations will have it, but that way they know they're getting the truck out.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So in here, it's pretty much our day room, lounge room. So we have a couple couches, our TV in here.
Okay.
So somebody will come down here and have dinner on our duty crew nights.
You gotta have the Firehouse table.
Yep.
Nice couches, and you got your embroidered seat already.
Yep.
And you have it kid friendly.
Yep, we do.
So
everyone's kids.
if you want to volunteer, you don't just have to come down here by yourself and hang out and miss time with your family. Bring your kids, let them hang out.
Yep.
Let them watch TV, do their own station cruise with their own little fire station over here, and see how it goes. This is awesome. I could spend hours here.
Oh yeah. These walls can talk.
Yeah, yeah. And that's it for up here, is that correct, or is there
Yes.
anything more?
Nope, that's all for up here. So when you're ready, take a look at the apparatus.
All right, let's go see the apparatus. Cool. But before we go downstairs, do us a favor, hit subscribe, hit notification, and keep smashing those like buttons. It really helps us out. Let's go downstairs.
So now you're in our apparatus bays.
Okay.
So
Now earlier we came past this, I noticed that you have an ambulance.
yes.
You don't run ambulance service from what I understood on the website.
We do not. So our the local rescue squad, this is pretty much station 36-2. They have 4 stations. This is their second station. They staff an ambulance out of here. They have a crew here from 6A to 6P.
Okay.
So they'll run out of here. So there's always one of their ambulances down here.
That's nice to have that collaboration between services.
Yes.
Many times, we do have some open space, or we have a need in the department to have a service that we may not be able to support, other than give them a space. So that's cool to see. It looks like you got a cascade system.
Yep, we have a 3-bottle cascade system here. So refill our bottles after any calls when we're on there. So
looks like old Squad 51.
yeah, right. This is our brush unit. It's a 1985 Chevy with a Pierce body. It's originally built on a K30 cab. It's 400 GPM, 250 gallons on board.
1985.
1985.
You still run this out? This isn't a parade piece.
No, it's still first due for all wire pull fires and brush fires.
Dude, this is awesome. Absolutely beautiful. Now, I noticed your rigs are outside today because it's a beautiful day out. We'll go out and look at those. But this is the final piece of your apparatus bay, right?
Yes, this is the final edition of Apparatus Bay throughout the history of the fire company.
Okay. So all your gear gets stored on the outside here.
Yeah, all of our gear is all around here. Our hose rack is in here as well.
So let's go out and take a look at your 3 units. Okay.
Sure, let's take a look.
All right. So before we go outside and talk to Jason about all the trucks, I want to stop for just a second and talk about some of our new stuff that we're doing. We're trying to go through the Fire 1 certifications, and today they're going to bring us through hose, how to pull hose, how to pack hose, and everything to do with hose.
So on our engine, we have off the bumper, we have 150 feet of pre-connected 1 3/4. This load is called the modified Scorpion load. We use it on our engine and our ladder. This is basically folded, so when I pick up the nozzle here, there's going to be a loop right here. As you can see, there's 3 lengths of hose coming out as I'm holding it out. Basically, what the concept is that when I take the nozzle and take this loop out the bail, what's going to happen is that when I start walking, you're going to see all 3 lengths at the same time come out that hose tray. Now I hit that first section, I can keep going. That was my 50 feet. Coupling just reached the next one. Now I got another 50 feet. And here I am maxed out. So this is pretty much what you're getting at 150 feet. When you pull this hose out, as you can see, When I started walking, all 3 lines were coming out at the same time. That benefits you and it benefits us because we don't have to worry or wait the time of all that hose coming out. Say if we had to pull the hose out and I didn't walk this way, I had to go, say, toward the yard, toward the front of the house. I could walk there, still have that 50 feet with me. That way I can drop it at the door, and I know when I go inside, I'll have that extra 50 feet of length. All right, so now after we pulled our hose, let's go repack it. So basically repacking the modified Scorpion, what you're first gonna do, we take our female end, and we're gonna leave it out, sticking out right here. And basically this gets flat loaded all from the bottom all the way up. So basically a flat load, what we're doing is just folds on top of each other. We're not doing any like double folds or any short folds for any couplings. So basically when it's flat loaded, it's just your usual, just your zigzag load as we're doing now. So what's important about folding your hose is that you gotta get all the air out of it as you can, all the water in it, and you gotta keep your creases tight. Because if they're not tight and there's air in the hose, then it's just gonna overflow out the tray, and then you won't have that secured right when you go to rest it back in the tray. All right. So we have our first flat load in. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take the male end of the hose. Now, if you want to check this out, if you want to get in the tray, what we're going to do is that this eventually will have 3 lengths here. So we have 1, 2, and 3. What we're going to do, we're going to take the male end, put it toward the middle on the 3rd row, and then me and Firefighter Guile are going to flat load right behind it. So once again, this row gets flat loaded as we did before. We're doing tight creases, make sure there's no air, water inside of it. This will give us that nice, easy pack. All right, so now that we have our female end on the top of the hose, what we're going to do is that we take the male end and the female end right here, and then what we're going to do is that we're just going to couple it in right here. Make sure your couplings are hand tight. Straighten out your hose. And now this is going to sit right here. This is what you're going to see in the bail of the nozzle. So now we have our second load done. We're going to do our final load, starting with the female end. Once again, sticking with the flat load. What we're going to do first is that we're going to couple in the female end to the male end, which is sitting in the middle of the 3rd row. As so, hand tight, make sure our hose is straight. And now, same thing again, flat load. All right, so now we ended with our male end right at the top. So we pre-connected our 2 lengths here, so it's 100, and then we pre-connected our length at the bottom, which gives us our 150. So now you take the nozzle. For us, we use a combination nozzle right off the top because this line can be used for both structural and vehicle fires. Hand tighten that. Put in the hose tray. Then what you do is that you take from the coupling between the 50 and the 100-foot section, right through the bail. Then it rests right in here. So it's all nice, neatly packed. So again, when you go to pull it, you're grabbing the nozzle and you're grabbing this loop right here. That way you can pull all 3 lengths out in one walk. And that's basically the modified Scorpion load as we have set up on our engine and as well as our ladder.
Thank you so much for showing us that. Why is it important to learn how to flake out hose and repack hose?
So it's important to learn to flake out hose. Let's start with that. Flaking out hose, you don't want kinks. You don't want the couplings to get, say, stuck under a car tire, around a tree, around maybe the patio stairs going up to a house. The easiest way that I do it is that I always keep the one length in my hand that way, so I'm not getting coupling stuck anywhere. I have it wrapped around my arm, so I'm pretty much maneuvering the hose as it goes. It's not just, you know, sitting out there all jumbled up and just waiting for it not to happen.
Right, and there's so many different ways you can pack hose.
Yes.
This is just one. There's multiple different ways that you're going to learn in Fire 1, right?
Yep, you'll learn the Minuteman, AAA, you go over all that. This is just a concept that we took that best fits our apparatus.
All right, thank you for showing us that.
Thank you.
So don't forget to subscribe, and now back to our video. So we're meeting back up with Jason.
Yep.
So this is your squad from what I understood, right?
Yep, this is our squad truck. It's a 2006 Seagrave. It's got a 1500 GPM, 500 gallons on board. It's our first new apparatus to any more vehicle accident, any RIT fast calls, anything in that nature. This is our first.
Is that why they call it a squad versus an engine?
That's my take of it, yes. That's what I think, so.
Okay, because it kind of looks like an engine. If someone, you know, layperson down the street comes looking at this, they're like, oh, it's a fire engine.
Yeah.
But technically it's a squad because it has that rescue capability.
A couple of stations are actually transitioning into saying rescue engine now.
Okay.
Which is new to me, so.
Okay. The next one we have is?
This is our engine. It's got it's a 2015 Seagrave. It's got 2,000 GPM, 2,000 gallons on board. This is first due to any car fires, landing zones, second due for brush, anything, and then our tender task forces.
Okay.
This truck is on.
Yeah.
Because the 2,000 gallons, so it'll go.
Now that's quite a bit of gallons. A lot of them are 750. You went to 2,000 on an engine.
Yep.
Do you not have many hydrants, or are you fully hydranted?
So in the town of Lebanon borough, we have hydrants.
Okay.
Again, the mutual aid aspect. We're going into areas that don't have hydrants. Reddington, Tewksbury Township, they don't have hydrants. That's why we were put on a tender task force, which are 4 in the county. There's north, east, south, and the west.
Okay, okay. And then you have, it looks like a ladder,
Yep.
right?
This is our ladder. It's a 2002 Seagrave. It's got 2,000 GPM, 400 gallons on board.
Okay.
75 foot.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. I do like the traditional red.
Yes.
Across the board. Now,
Yep.
we've seen a lot of combinations. The gray and red I really like. The black and red I really like. Most recently, we actually did orange fire trucks.
Nice.
But there's something to be said about having a red fire truck. You know, it's that, you know, little kid in you that knows that's my fire truck.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. But as I was walking out, I looked up here. You mentioned the siren downstairs when we're in the basement. Do you still run the siren?
Yep, the siren operates from during the day. If there's a call, it'll go off. It'll do 4 blasts. Pretty much another way to alert guys that, hey, there's a call. And again, tradition.
Right.
We keep the tradition because that became a firehouse siren in the 80s. After the whole Cold War era was gone, we decided to keep it. A few departments still have their sirens, but they're not ran. Because, you know, people complain, ordinances and stuff, but we still have ours going.
That's awesome to see.
Yep.
Jason, thank you so much for bringing us out.
Thank you.
Before we end, I want you to tell them how to get a hold of you once again. What's that website? How do we get a hold of you?
Sure. If you ever want to reach out, join the fire company at all, donate. www.18fire.org is our website. And again, every Monday night at 7 o'clock, we're always down here.
All right. Thank you all for watching. This was another Station Cribs with Lebanon Fire Company in Huntington County, right?
Yep.
Did I say that right?
Yes.
In New Jersey. Before we end, I'm going to say it. Hit subscribe, hit notification, and keep smashing those like buttons. We'll see you again next week. We are in Lebanon Borough in Hunterdon County. Yep, start that again. Today we are in Lebanon, Borough, Lebanon, the Borough, Lebanon, the Borough.